Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the People's Improv Theater. But most importantly, welcome to church. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, the clergy and the clergymen.
Here we are, it's Saturday night, it is time for Fake Church. Please welcome to my left the Fake Church Choir. Who's read the scripture with us is Brother Eric Runhauser. In the back operating the lights is my friend Patrick Cutter. Who's at the bar? Harrison. What is it? Harrison. Harrison is at the Fake Church Bar. Feel free at any time to get up and take your babies to the crying room, take yourself to the bar, which is the crying room for adults. Before we get too much further into Fake Church, I feel that we have some new faces here, and I'm glad to see all of you, new and familiar alike. For those who are new, I'd like to have us say at the beginning of church just exactly which fake church we are, because there are fake churches all over the country. There are the real churches, which most of us were raised in, right? There's the Catholic Church and the various Christian churches. They're great. There's the Jewish churches and synagogues, and they're great. There's Muslim churches, Buddhist churches. There was rumored to be a Zoroastrian church in the southwest suburbs of Chicago. I'm not sure if that's true, but it's what I was told. I was told that's the building where the bodies go until the vultures eat them. That's what I was told. But we're not one of those real churches. We are one of the many fake churches here in the United States. Elsewhere in Manhattan, in my travels, I have seen the fake church of brownies. I have seen the fake church of dancing. I have seen here in this spot, filled with people very similar to me and my friends. The fake church of video games was here about a month ago. A few months before that was the fake church of hair. And this stage here has served as home for many fake churches, but we're not any of those fake churches, are we? Because I'd like to hear my person just say it. Please, you tell us what?
Tampons.
Tampons, that's right. Praise. We are the Fake Church of Tampons. I'll tell you a funny little story that happened to me 2 months ago. I went home to visit my cousin after graduation from high school. And at this point, word's gotten around my family. Jeff is minister of Tampons, you know? And they say, Jeff, why on earth, of all things, would you join a church and dedicate a big portion of your life to a ministry centered around tampons? And I said, listen, I have not yet needed a tampon for the normal reasons. But I once was reading electric meters in a rough neighborhood in the south suburbs, thank you, of Chicago. And I got a pretty bad puncture wound from a barbed wire fence. And rather, thank you, rather than buy an expensive, specialized, overpriced bandage, I just happened to see a very nice lady walk by, and she said, oh, you are bleeding. When you are bleeding, you need a tampon. And she gave me one. She showed me how to apply it to the puncture wound I had gotten. And by the end of that day, that wound was ready to go. As far as healing, it was healed, okay? And I didn't get blood all over my uniform. Right now, I've been bopping around this stage, setting up things, and I've begun to sweat. And my brothers and sisters have brought me some very nice tampons to soak up that excess moisture before it ruins my preaching shirt. Also, my nose is running, so we got some little tampons on my nose. There are many wonderful qualities of tampons to praise, and we are not going to get to all of them. Thank you. They make nice hats. Very good belts. One of my favorite qualities of this thing, that's for later, that we have dedicated so much of our time to is that the tampon is versatile. So to get us started with a little bit of music, let us turn to the Fig Church Choir for a traditional Navajo hymn about the tampon. In Navajo, it's called Olakuluk. The English lyrics translate roughly to so many uses. Our tampons. Fig Church Choir, please bring us to life.
Thankfully, he's also given us a gift. Save that essence. Now I know many of you think, you use your tampon and just throw it out. Get rid of it. Now, man, don't be scared. Don't be ashamed of how you've been acting. Many don't know about the teachings of the Church of the Tampon. Many don't know about saving the essence. Now, you can keep it, some keep it in a jar, some keep it in a box. I like to keep mine in my wallet. Just one every month. I take it out. I take it from my lovely, lovely wife. Her name's Matilda. She's back there. I love you, sweetheart. And I keep it with me. I keep a little piece of her with me. Okay? Now, I'm sorry. Look, I know that this comes as a shock to many. I know it may sound untoward, even disgusting. But you know what's disgusting? Wasting your precious bodily fluids.
Praise.
That's disgusting.
Praise. Praise is tampon.
Yes. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
We will not waste. We will not throw these in public toilets that will overflow.
No.
No.
Praise the tampon.
Praise the tampon. Keep the tampon. Collect. Stop remember my wife's wedding night, I tell you what. It was not the right time for a wedding night. But we kept her little gifts. And I keep it to this day on the mantelpiece. As a reminder of our love. Okay? What I'm talking about now, what I'm talking about tonight, it's not wasted. It's about keeping the memory alive with your vital essence. Because memory just flows, memory comes, memory goes. But if you can soak out once a month the experience, the life, and keep it in a dangly, key-chaining, collectible memento. That, friends, is a gift from God. Can I get an amen? Amen. It's a gift. It is a gift. That is correct. We are teaching here. Now, before I let you go, I'd like to give you a small reading from our scripture. It's called, we call them Pearls of Wisdom. This one is called Purification of the BVN. Now you dismiss your servant, O Lord, according to your word in peace. A light of revelation to the Gentiles and the glory for your people beneath you. Because my eyes have seen your salvation, and it does not come in the form of money or false idols. It comes in the form of a disposable applicator. For it truly was God who made such simple remembrances available to us on this earth. Now, once again, if I could have a praise the tampon. Praise the tampon! I'm Aaron Grunhouse. Thank you very much for listening to my sermon.
The release of the blood.
Let it wash over you, and don't be afraid.
Make sure the channels on the floor are clear so that it doesn't get stopped by any one parishioner. Good, good, good. Let's push it along just a little bit. There we go. We need that minute. Thank you. To help soak in, if you'll allow me the expression, some of the words and ideas that Brother Grunhauser has shared with us. Request another hymn from the choir. This one, an old favorite in the big church of Tampons, which is called Soak It Up.
Well, soak it up, soak it up, deep and low. Soak it up, soak it up, soak it up, deep and low. Soak it up. The rains fall from the skies, the tears fall from our eyes. Sad we may be, but sad no more. Soak it up from the floor. Soak it up. Soak it up. Soak it up. Soak it up.
It just keeps getting bigger. With every drop it grows, and
maybe it's just that time. Try and remember this too will pass, and maybe you'll get to have some extra gas. Just be faithful and remember it's gonna all get soaked up. Soak it up. Soak it up. Soak it up. Soak it up.
Fire, I see why that one has endured through so many seconds. I have a special treat for us today, a guest speaker, someone who's been a member of our church for a while, is in fact a member of our choir. But maybe not all of you would know that it is someone very, very qualified to talk to us about the tampons we hold so dear. Little known to me, so humble, she never told me until she accidentally left it slip at a tampon drive we had out in the suburbs last Wednesday. Our own Julie Feldman of the Fake Church Choir is a product development specialist and customer feedback, what's the word? Arbitrator. For Kotex brand, the Procter & Gamble company. I thought if you could just talk to us about something on the other side of the tampon chain.
I just want to make it clear that I am not here as a representative of Kotex.
Did anyone think that she was here for corporate reasons?
No. There's the tampon. I am lucky that I get to be a part every day of something that I love so much. That magical, magical pearl that sucks up all of your wisdom, all of your essence, as we've heard in this lovely scripture that we had before. I just want to share with you the very magic of the tampon. Now, that special time of month is a special time because that means that you're not going to have a child. That particular reason. And, you know, when you've had a really stressful month, and you're on day 31, day 32, and it has not yet shown itself, you feel fear. You feel this wave of uncertainty approaching you. Is this my time? Am I going to be a parent? And for the men, oh God, you just don't understand. You don't know that primal fear. When you're saying maybe today, maybe at lunch, maybe after dinner, and it is just not there. And you say, where? Where is my menstruation?
Where is it?
Where?
Where?
Right here. But then you have to, is it with you right now? Is the menses with you right now? Right now. I can feel it in the house! The menses comes when you don't want it to be there. And it won't come when you want it. It's a very special relationship that you have to develop. Because it's there when you least expect it. And it will only show its face when it knows that you are ready. And sometimes you're not ready. And sometimes it won't show. And then sometimes you're pregnant. And then you're like, what? The milk. But you just have to say, okay, this is where my life is going. And maybe I won't need a tampon. But then, hallelujah, you break out in a nosebleed. 2 months pregnant, and all of a sudden, the blood is gushing from you. Not from the place that you wanted it to. you say, my God, I can accept tampons into my life again, but in an orifice that I did not expect. And you put that tampon up your nose, at both nostrils, if it's an incredibly bad one, like, your air conditioner stopped working. And you get that sensation of it supporting you again. And you get that magical anti-gravity sensation, because it just stays up there without any assistance, like it's meant to be a part of you inside. And that's why we feel. We feel for tampons so much, because we can't feel them there. But they feel us. They feel when we're ready for them. And they feel when we're not ready. And when Menzies throws in an obstacle, throws in a surprise for you, tampons will still be there for you in ways that you don't expect. Amen.
How lucky we are to have Judy here in our church, in our choir, and how lucky we are to have someone so passionate about the tampon working on the production side. Woo! I would like to let us bask in that electric feeling for a little longer. The next hymn the Fig Church Choir has for you is one that's, I'm told, pretty popular with the teens these days. I believe, if I understand the name of it, it's got an extra Z and the word ends in an A, but it's Tampons Forever. Is that it? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Please, I'd love to hear what the kids are listening to at their parties. Oh my
Well, you know those tampons, they love your shit. They love to get up in it and stop all the blood from coming down from your waist all over your face. I've never been around a woman who never deserved anything more than a good old tampon. Because she needs it. We want it. We have it. Forever.
Some of us were talking, and we feel like we just do a lot around here, a lot around this church, and you don't really ever you don't ever really appreciate us. Some of us feel a little overweight, and you haven't told us that we look pretty and beautiful. We really appreciate it around here.
Can I also speak on behalf of the group? I just have to say, as a member of the choir, pulling a lot of weight and feeling heavy and steeped in the weight, that we just sometimes feel like we just need to be pulled out of the church, just like dragged out slowly, because
something that we study for. This is something that we pay close attention to. Do we tell them they're wrong? Do we invalidate their feelings? Do we say, oh, I see what's happening here, and then go watch another football game?
Oh, just throw more words at it. Roman, he's talking.
I thank every one of you. You, Jess, for talking. You, Roman, for talking. And all of you for expressing to me what you're feeling right now. Because even if it is, and I'm not saying it is, but even if it is an amplified version of something real, it is an amplified version of something real. I think that you don't even realize that you've all lost a little bit of weight.
You don't mean it.
And I think that I owe you an apology because I was so rushed getting ready for the show today, I didn't take time to tell you that I'm taking you all out for dancing as soon as you want to go.
Well, we need new shoes if we were going to go dance.
What shoes it is.
Now we feel like the assholes.
No.
It's really our fault. Listen, I have been an asshole right now. I feel bad. I was the one who started the whole I feel fat with Roman. Okay? I'm sorry. I was the one who started it back before we came out. And I'm sorry. But I realize sometimes I get these emotional outpours. And sometimes I need to take that metaphorical tampon and shove it in the hole that outpouring is coming from in my brain and deal with it till it's okay again. That was my fault. I apologize to
Does anyone here blame Steve or anyone for anything that just happened here?
No. Yes.
Are we here to catch the runoff of these guys?
Yes.
We're here to catch anything extra they've got that they need to unload in order to flush out some extra tissue, let's say. And even if things get chunky, are we here for them? Absolutely.
Amen.
I feel like this stage is absolutely clotted with emotion. And I couldn't be happier because it's natural. It is natural. Now, you know what else is natural? The cacao bean with chocolate. If you would all reach in your pockets, I slipped bars of chocolate in your pockets just in case. Because I checked the calendar and I looked at the moon and I said tonight's a chocolate service.
Oh my God. I'm only going to eat half of mine.
No,
No,
I want every one of you simultaneously to look at my eyes.
no.
I love you. And if you want, you can have the night off.
I'll follow you. I sometimes need that. I'm sorry.
I should give it more often.
A little note.
Just to know, like, flowers are like really cheap. They're like $5 if you put in like one flower. Yeah.
There is a service to complete.
I said I was only going to eat half of mine, but I ate all.
You look so pretty.
One thing I have in common with Sherlock Holmes, and it applies right here. I love a mystery. And that's what all of you are. When these kind of things come upon us, it is mysterious. That's why I like to come here and keep being involved with the Fake Church of Tampons, because we pay attention to the most mysterious and arbitrary and random mystery of all. The one that needs tampons. But some people among us didn't need tampons for 9 months or so at some point in the last 18 years. And some of us have never needed them before. That's right, the kids in the house. Hello, little kids. Hello, little kids. Hello, little kids. Hello. It is time because we cannot have them sit here and listen to all our grown-up nonsense and not give them a little something of their own. So please welcome to the stage, as always, Jess Morgan and anyone she wants to help for the kids program at
Reverend Dad, I have something very serious to talk about today with the children in the service. we get serious, guys? We're going to talk about safety. I know it's kind of a bummer for all you little kiddos out there, but that's why I asked you not to go to the little ultralight wing service we have and come to the super extra braided service, guys. This is big kid talk. We're going to talk about safety, everyone. We're talking about safety. So as you know, I have 9 children of my own, so it's been a long time since I've had to use a tampon. But I know about their protection. I know about how safe they can make you feel. I'm just gonna give you a little anecdote. Are you ready, guys? This is also for little ears. So point to your little ears if you have your little ears listening, everyone. Oh my gosh, you guys are my favorite little service. I love you. They're so good, my little ultralights. Anyway, so I was at the mall with my middle child, Tobias, and he ran off. Scary, right? Huh? Have you ever lost your mommy at the mall? Doesn't feel good. Makes you scared. That's not a safe thing to do, to run off from your mommy. But it made me remember, oh my gosh, if I were just to wear a tampon at all times, I would have basically a leash for my kid to hang on to. Just remember, all little ears are on, right? Oh my God, you guys are the best. I love you so much. You're my favorite. So, when you get scared or think you can't be close enough to your mommy, just remember, you have a lifeline. You have a string. You have a piece of braided glory sticking out of her, presumably if she's of the fertile age. We'll talk about that in our middle school service. So if you ever just feel scared or lost, just remember that she's there with a big, old, long lifeline. Right? Where do you grab? You tug between her legs. It's not inappropriate, because that's where you came from, guys. It's where you came from. You had a line to her. You were attached with an umbilical cord, so there's no reason you should feel ashamed, or frightened, or nervous, or confused about just reaching up between your mommy's legs and tugging on that braided piece of protection. Don't run from your mommies. Hold their tampon strings. We love you. And I know that was kind of a grown-up children's service, but do you think you all can take that to heart and remember to stay close to your mommies? Don't wander off in the mall. I swear to God, if you do it again, I can't lose you, Tobias. I can't lose you. You can't leave me like that. You're gonna shake your head at mommy. You're gonna not. Okay, good. I love you. I just had to get that off my chest.
Well, I think it's a good lesson for all of us to remember.
Right?
Yeah.
Mommy love their kids.
Called it an audible. I think that this is a great time for that fairly related hymn. It's in a bit of a rock and roll style, and it's called Hold On for Dear Life. It's about tampon strength.
Ruin the surprise.
Well,
You're alone in the night. You've lost your way. Where do you go to find a way back home?
You've only got one option, one thing you can do. You gotta reach out and tug that string.
Hold on for dear life.
Hold on,
Hold on.
hold on,
Dear life,
hold on, hold on,
hold on to dear life,
hold on, hold on,
hold on to
dear life. But you're feeling lost and nowhere to go. Who you gonna turn to? There's only one option.
Don't want to choose pad, because that's not so bad. As you hold on to your tampon.
Good Lord, it took a while for that river to fill back up. God, what a bonfire. Thank you, guys. We are in the home stretch of our weekly service this time. I'll be having sacrament shortly, so make sure that the troughs are still flowing nicely. If you see any blockages, just go ahead. Susie, I'm dipping early. As is my pleasure and privilege as a minister here at the Great Church of Tampon, I get to share with you some thoughts about these things. I'll talk to you for just a moment. The topic that came up to me today as I took my usual Saturday morning walk, about as basic as it gets in the Great Church of Tampons, which is soaking up, absorbing. In a very simple and concrete sense, right, our tampons perform a critical function is they soak up something that needs to be contained for a little while. And this is something that a lot of us as human beings end up performing as a function. Am I right? Great. Some of us, when we are little kids, have to do a lot of that. Sometimes our parents don't realize just how much they are needing us to soak up. And sometimes we pick up a habit. It gets easy for us. Soak things up. Because once you soak them up, you've got them contained in your whole life, right? Sometimes when we're little kids, that's a good habit. It's not necessarily healthy, but it's what they call adaptive. It helps you get along. Nobody really ever tells us in the outside world that we need to stop doing that. The thing is, in real life, in the actual physical world of a tampon, it soaks up what we need it to soak up because, obviously, it would possibly leak all over, it might stain things that you're wearing or that you're interacting with. In general, it would disrupt the orderly way in which we try to conduct our life here in Western civilization. In the metaphorical sense, the same is true of emotions. When you're a little kid, something bothers you, we have to learn from our parents, well, I'll hold it in for a little while. What they don't always teach us to do is when the time is right, it's okay, we've got things to absorb that. What they don't necessarily teach us is that at a certain point we have to find time to take it out and do something with it. Perhaps we start a collection as Brother Grunhauser's wing of our church. In emotional terms, sometimes I think that's what people do when they're older and they go to therapy, right? Is they take the metaphorical tampon that they've had inside them for decades and they try to take some of that out. People don't always teach us, right? And the problem is if you learn that when you're young and it's an adaptive habit, nobody tells you it's time to stop. And so you grow up and you keep doing that and you end up a person who absorbs things that you shouldn't. Absorbs things that it's no longer your job to absorb. Things that actually would be better allowed to roll free. Sure, someone in your life, in your work life, your home life, your artistic life, does something that bothers you, gives you some feelings that would cause a problem if you let them out. If you were raised to absorb the things, maybe you just suck them up and you keep working or living with or performing with someone who bothers you. And you soak up more and you soak up more. It's not a good thing anymore. If you let those feelings out, it would be messy for a minute, like ruin a shirt. But it would bother that person maybe and make them get out of your life. Or it would let them know, oh my gosh, I'm causing a problem here. I'm giving this person some feelings since you're not soaking them up anymore if you stop. That person has the chance to maybe stop giving you these bad feelings, stop doing the things that are bothering you. So the key, friends, is absorb what you need to when it's appropriate to absorb it. But at some point, take it out. After I'd done a little studying in Tampon Divinity School, I happened across an old book from my high school days in which the story Bartleby the Scrivener came up. And I said, this is a man whose tampon is saturated. This is a man who in all chapter -10 through 0 before the story starts just absorbed and absorbed and absorbed, and then he was done. Now, that caused another man who was around him to go into complete madness, and we don't want that either. The protagonist, or the speaker in that story, right, is his boss who just goes completely bonkers. That man has something of a metaphorical toxic shock. Coming into contact with the tampon that has been used incorrectly. Right? Good.
Forsake.
Obviously, this is a lesson that I learned in my own life. I grew up in a place where we needed to just take it in. It's a habit I never broke until I started to attend services that I happened to walk by. I said, I like the music here. Jess was on that choir. Julie was on that choir. And I came in and adjusted. Well, it got good to me. So, the lesson here for me is anything you hold in too long becomes a problem, and you need to make room. And I don't know if any of you ladies have ever left a tampon in too long. I'm told it is unpleasant. I've definitely left these ones in my nose too long. It has gotten tight as they've grown, so you'll excuse me. Keeping the hat on, I like it. So, please reach into your pockets or your clutches, your handbag, whatever you brought your sacramental tampon in. If you are low, you will find that in the pouch next to your seat there is another sacramental tampon. Please get it out, and on the count of 3, we will all unwrap our tampons. 1, 2, 3. Throw the wrap. Now, I hope you've all been listening and making sure that the blood is flowing freely in the troughs all around you. There is obviously a small trough just in front of every one of your seats. So I want you to do, just like every week. Think about something that you have absorbed, that you held in. You've been holding it for a while. Sometimes there's so many. Pick one. All right. And now, don't do it yet. But I want you to, when you're ready, reenact that moment in which you absorb that thing. Do so by taking your sacramental tampon and dipping it in the blood in the trough. And as that tampon soaks up the sacramental blood, this is you in effigy, recreating the moment in which you absorbed the thing that you needed to, because right then it wasn't right to let it flow. When you're ready, reenact that moment. Hold it down in the blood, hold it there. And now, dear friends, now is the time when we get to metaphorically, and I hope really in your heart, take that thing out. Are we ready? Yes! Are you ready to be rid of it? Yes! your chair. It's been replaced as it is every week, sanitarily. Dispose of it safely and cleanly. This is a fake church, dear friends. It can be as real as you want to for a little while. If you participated as much as you want to, maybe you feel a little bit lighter right now. A little bit less stuck.
I don't feel as bad anymore.
You are itching for another kiss on the mouth. Dear friends, it is my honor, my privilege, and my joy to be your minister here at Fake Church every time we get to do it. We will be here again on what I believe is the 14th of November. It's a Saturday in the middle of November. Always a Saturday, always at 8 o'clock, always right here. If you're looking for our next service, please go to fakechurch.net, where I or my friends will post information about our service. Please, if you think Fake Church of Tampons or something else, because it may be something different next time. If you think this Fake Church might be something that someone you know would enjoy on any level, please let them know. We want to keep doing it. Let me thank my friend Patrick up in the booth, the Fake Church Choir. Brother, finally, as we get ready to leave on one final triumphant hymn with which we will proceed out, let me say thank you all for being here. Soak it up when you need to. Take it out when it's time. Praise the tampon. Blank bless you. Thank you very much, dear friends. You ready, class? You ready, class?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending this session of the Fake Church. Please know that next time, the Lord will